Welcome to the Flock of Seagals podcast, where we watch, review the library of the not very esteemed film actor, Steven Seagal. I'm Bob.
My name is Mark.
My name is Dustin.
My name is Ron.
And none of us are qualified to review or talk about film in any meaningful way, but why and when has that ever stopped anyone before? So,
Every podcast on the planet is built around being totally unqualified for what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, we should just... Who's to tell us no?
They're here for the charm and the personality, which we have none of.
So, we should talk about what this is. So, Flock of Seagals. We're gonna watch his movies and review them. This came about because I at least from memory, I've never seen a Steven Seagal movie. Upon looking back, so I've looked through his library and I found out that is kind of a lie, because I've seen Executive Decision, but I don't remember anything about the movie, and from what I understand is he's like barely in it.
That's fair. And for the rest of us, like, kind of going down the line, I've seen a bunch of Steven Seagal movies, but, like, honestly, I cannot name them. I will not be able to tell you what movies he started and what he's done at any sort of good capacity.
Yeah, I'm in about the same boat as Bob. From memory, I could not tell you when I've seen. I'm sure I have. It seems he has so many films, it seems impossible I haven't seen at least one of them. But I could not tell you which one I have if I have.
He has 57 acting credits, according to IMDb.
Jesus Christ.
57.
I've never seen any of his movies either. And I know very little about it, except for that, and this might even be wrong, but I think that, isn't he like, he's like the action movie Batman, where like he doesn't kill anybody? Isn't that his shtick? Like he doesn't kill people?
I feel like that can't possibly be true.
I thought he just like wounds them, because isn't he like a very spiritual person? Like he like doesn't believe in.
You'd think, since I'm like helming this idea,
I could be making all this shit up. For all I know, none of that is
research, true. But I did not.
This is just telling you exactly how little I know.
As far as I know, he is supposedly a master of Aikido, right?
Yeah, Aikido, what I say is a fake martial arts.
Yeah, and Aikido is designed around not necessarily striking per se, but like manipulating and grappling. So if he were to be I never hurt anybody, I would buy that. Like, I would believe that.
Well, I don't think it's that he does hurt them. I just don't think he kills them. It's like Batman, where he breaks somebody's arm. I could be wrong. This could be totally wrong.
No, I think you're right. I think it was in the 80s. Like, he would, like, definitely around the 80s, he probably was in that persona, but I can assure you Steven Seagal has killed somebody. And we will keep a death tally.
Steven Seagal the man?
Yeah.
I'm certain there's going to be some karate chop deaths. Some karate chop deaths. I'm certain of it.
People just
some axe handles.
I need definitive
some axe handle killing.
We need to see some blood and definitive death and all that.
Dude, there's no way he doesn't kill people in movies, because he's got guns in a bunch of his movies, right?
Well, that and he was an action star in the 80s where, like, you punch somebody and they blow up. So, like, certainly he was part of that at some point,
Steven
right?
Seagal,
presumably.
Blood death.
He had to have, right? This started because I bought that movie Sniper, and we were gonna watch it because it looks very, very bad. And then
6 years ago.
Yeah, it was a very long time ago, and just sat on your. It's not even opened, I think.
I am holding it in my hand right now. It says October 16. I imagine that means 2016.
Yeah.
That's the date on it, and it, yeah, I mean, it says Sniper Special Ops, he's watching year 6. And yeah, so it's unopened, it's in the shrink wrap, it's still...
The image of this is beautiful. It's just like a big fat Steven Seagal with like a tiny gun, but it's like a regular sized gun, he's just too big for it. And like
and his vest on.
Yeah, there's a really good training video he put out like during this.
So this is a more
seconds.
recent Steven Seagal then.
Yes, and he even had a training thing like John Wick did, but instead it was just like him running around with a tiny gun and just like and like fucking just being winded.
Oh, looking at the cover art, definitely a Photoshop.
Yeah, it's definitely Photoshop for sure. I was gonna say that's not even his body. I don't think, DJ. That's got to be somebody else's body.
I'm not even sure that's his face.
I think he's fatter than that
For sure.
Yeah, they slimmed it down.
According to this, it says the movie is copyright 2015. I don't know if that means that's when the DVD was. I mean, I imagine this didn't come out in any theaters, right? So this probably
direct DVD.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a strong assumption.
So
it's a 2015 joint. So he's been making movies as recently as 6 years ago. And we bought. It was purchased from Walmart by Bob in 2016. It says October 2016.
Does it say how much?
Please tell me as an impulse buy at the register.
Yeah.
It does not have a price tag on it.
My guess is that it had to have been pretty.
The only
cheap.
reason you would buy it if it was
$5 or less, gotta be right.
Yeah, it would definitely have been $5 less because I think it was bought with like another movie too.
Right.
I think it's got to be one of those ones from the tub by the register.
Oh, you know
right?
what? I'm looking at it now, and there's also on here it says 2016. So it might have actually come out in 2016. But anyway, the point is, you bought this and basically threatened us with it to make us watch this over and over again, and nobody ever wanted to watch it. And then when somebody got a wild hair up their ass, and they're like, "Dude, let's watch it. And then one of us would always be gone.
I always wanted to watch this fucking movie here. I'm the one who constantly screamed that we should watch this, and we couldn't do it because you guys want to wait fucking brutes.
I mean,
look, it's the first movie.
It's. I mean, I think I'm definitely the one who's like, I don't want to watch this movie.
It's not clear to me why you would choose to watch this unprompted.
I don't know why this one specifically, but somebody. So the thing that Bob kept telling us in order to get us to want to watch it is that like there was like some rumor that in this movie he's never standing up, like he's always sitting in a chair.
The rumor comes completely from me. That's my belief.
Okay. That was our bet. Is that he doesn't get up out of a chair?
Me and DJ.
Oh, okay.
He just sits. Yeah. At most, he stands up and like walks around a little bit. You're definitely not going to see him run, and he probably sits in a chair for 9-10 of the movie.
He's basically Cameron Mitchell.
Do you think that's why he chose to be a sniper so he can lay still for most of the movie?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just a happy coincidence, man.
So you don't think that
this came out, dude? This probably came out the same time as American Sniper did.
So you're saying that like the martial arts in this movie is mostly just going to be him standing still, if there is any?
There will not be any martial arts.
No.
Really?
I bet you still karate chop someone. Someone sneaks up on him and karate chops him. Probably a dirty American soldier.
No, it's gotta be some sort of Russian spy, right?
Oh yeah,
right.
Okay.
He's a Russian. No, because he just got Russian citizenship. He would never do that.
Steven Seagal did?
Yeah.
Steven Seagal the man did?
Yes.
Oh.
Wait, what does this say on here?
Was that before or after this movie?
During. It was around this time, yeah.
Around this time.
Okay.
We don't know
okay.
for sure.
There's a Walmart sticker on here that's blocking the other credit on this movie. But it says Seagal, and then it says Van, and then there's a letter D, and then I can't see what comes next.
Somebody is in that movie that is like, I can't remember who it is.
Am I allowed to peel the sticker off? Is it okay?
Yeah, dude.
No. So
you can throw it in the trash. I don't care.
So
Van Damme.
Yeah.
Is the cover I'm seeing on the old Google search is a Van Damme. So
man.
Could it be?
No, it can't be.
No way. It can't be. Is that how it's spelled? VANDAM?
Is it a fake Van Damme that they just got so they can put Van Damme on the thing?
Oh, Rob Van Dam.
Yeah! It's Frank Stallone.
No, Rob Van Dam is a wrestler. Professional wrestler, dude. ECW and WWE and TNA.
But when people see Van Damme, they don't think Rob Van Damme.
That was totally a we want to put Van Damme on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think going into this, I think we shouldn't start with Sniper. I know
we shouldn't?
I think we should start with his best. I think we should probably start with his most known and notable, or at least his first movie. My
presumption was, chronological.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't. I will say this, that you saying his best, most well-known, and first movie is funny because according to IMDb, his first movie is Above the Law in 1988, which I've never seen, but I've heard of that movie. And I mean, looking at the credits, dude, Pam Grier.
Yeah,
Pam Grier's in this movie.
Looking at his history, I think I've seen Glimmerman. That seems familiar.
What a name!
I've never seen any of his movies, not one. I have no really idea what to expect. Like I said, I think the only thing I remember is hearing how at some point he became very spiritual and became a very difficult actor to work with, and thus stopped getting into bigger films.
I don't believe he wasn't difficult to work with from the start.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Isn't Steven Tobolowsky has a famous video where he talks about working with Steven and how he was was a maniac who refused to do the scene with him or something.
Yeah.
So looking at his history of credits, there's only about, I'm going to say, 60 films here.
It says 57. He has 57 acting credits.
Okay, I swear it seems like there's way more than that. It seems impossible that there's not way more than that.
If you walked into a yard with a bunch of dog shit in it and you were like, man, how many is in there? And they're like, it's only 36 pieces of dog shit. And you're like, dude, it looks like a lot more than that. It's a yard full of dog shit, man. But
depending how long this goes, we can start diving into his directorial stuff, which is going to be fun.
Dude, he directed On Deadly Ground. So he directed one of his movies.
One of his own movies.
Yeah.
He produced almost all of them.
Dude, the credits. I shouldn't even be reading the credits for this movie right now. Should I say it?
No.
No. We should decide what our first movie is going to be, and then
is it Above the Law?
And then talk about it at the start of that podcast, right?
Yes.
I feel like it's got to be chronological, right? It's got to be an endurance contest. It's got to be an endurance contest. How long can we make it before we just give up?
Here's the thing, I feel like they're going to be bad, but we're probably going to have a lot of fun watching some of these, and some of these are going to be unbearable probably.
I imagine a lot of them are going to be unbearable.
Can we? Yeah. So
I've done a number of watch this and talk about it podcasts, and when something's unbearable, it's extra unbearable when you're forced to pay attention.
We'll make that decision. As we're watching through them, if it is literally such a pile of shit that we can't go through it.
I mean, how can you review it if you don't watch the whole movie, dude?
We won't review it. That's what I'm saying.
Do we have a veto power?
Yeah.
Veto power?
I think that's giving you too much of it.
If I'm spending time watching this movie, we'd be better if we fucking talk about it.
Well, that's what I meant. We can.
I guess that would have to be a. Are we watching? Do we plan to watch these simultaneously?
I think we should watch them together.
Is it going to be a homework assignment? Okay, so if it's watching them together,
I mean, we can take a vote on it. I don't care.
I honestly think we should watch them separate and then come back with notes, because there's definitely going to be moments where we all get into a call and go, yo, did you guys see this shit? You know what I mean? I think that might be a little bit more fun, just to compare notes. That's my opinion, but I can see doing it together too.
If that's the case, in either case, whether we do it separately or sitting in the same room or something, we should do it at the same time, because that would allow us the veto power. At any point, anyone could go, now, fuck this, I'm out, and then we all just stop that movie.
Sure.
And only if it's bad, if it's so bad it's terrible to watch and there's no material, because I'm guaranteeing you probably in the 90s we're gonna hit those movies where it's
there's gonna be some stinkers, dude.
15 minutes of nothing.
My opinion is we just power through, man.
We power through it. Now here's
you say that.
I hear you, man. But
we need an out. That's all I'm saying.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck.
Well, let's cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
If there's one that sucks so bad, then let's talk about it.
I'm gonna say that we should skip, at least for now, his TV series True Justice.
There's that, and there's Steven Seagal Lawman, I think, or the one.
Oh, wait.
Provided we make it there, that's many weeks away.
I'm sorry, never mind.
Episodes.
I didn't realize True Justice was a TV show and not the documentary bullshit thing, like Above the Law. No, Above the Law is not that. Yeah, I was talking about his, like...
True Justice is the one where he rides around with the cops, right?
No, this show, I just saw a little bit of it on accident.
Do we want to go for the... I think we should definitely do a movie, because he was known for his movies more than the TV stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
let's start there.
Well, yeah.
If we're blessed enough to get to a point where we get to start digging in, where we gotta find more junk, we either move to another action star, or we just start watching junk shit and then just mention Steven Seagal. We'll figure that out later.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah. Like I said, if we get to the TV, if we get to the point where we're making the choice on the TV show...
We watched 30 movies already.
Right.
Yeah, that's at least, 40 weeks away.
Yeah.
All right.
So what do we watch first? Do we watch what you said, Above the Law? Is that like his most popular movie?
It's his first movie.
Yeah.
Okay. What's he most known for? Like
probably Above the Law.
That one. Okay.
So here was what I was going to say. I was going to go through.
I'm sifting through some IMDb here, and Above the Law starts at a 6.0, and it looks to be declining from there. Oh wait, we got a 6.5 at Under Siege. I've heard of Under Siege before.
Under Siege is, I think, the one with Tommy Lee Jones. I'm going to right now. I was gonna. What do you guys think if we go through the list, some of the names of these movies, and talk about them because they got real good names.
All right, so should we do expectations first of what we're thinking that's going to happen, and then we start going through some of the movie lists and things?
Yeah, that was
right.
Yeah.
So Bob, go ahead and start.
My expectations?
Yes.
Well, I think first of all, I'm not a fan of Steven Seagal. I think he is an awful person, probably. All the things he's been accused of. So I assume that his movies are going to be kind of gross. Like, I don't know if there's... I mean, I'm sure some of these movies, there's, like, female characters. He's going to be real gross to them.
Dude, hold on. Well,
also...
Bob, please, somebody read off the Wikipedia thing. Just the front.
You want me to read it off?
Yeah,
all right. I'll read the
sets a stage. You'll see what you're reading to.
All right. Steven Seagal, born in Lansing, Michigan. He's from the big city lawyer town, Lansing, Michigan. A 7th Dan black belt in Aikido, which again, I don't think is a real contending type martial arts. He began his adult life as a martial arts instructor in Japan, becoming the first foreigner to operate an Aikido dojo in the country. He later moved to Los Angeles, California, where he had the same profession. In 1988, Seagal made his acting debut in Above the Law. By 1991, he had starred in 4 successful films. In 92, he played Navy SEAL counter-terrorist expert Casey Rayback in Under Siege. I don't know why that's funny. It's just a bunch of words in a row. During the latter half of the 1990s, Seagal starred in 3 more feature films and the direct-to-video film The Patriot. Oh man, I want to see that now. Subsequently, his career shifted to mostly direct-to-video productions. He has since appeared in films and reality shows, including Steven Seagal Lawman, which depicted Steven Seagal performing his duties as a reserve deputy sheriff. Seagal is a guitarist, and yes, he is. Oh, man. It has released 2 studio albums, Songs from the Crystal Cave, which is what I think we should refer to the podcast. Like, we're in the Crystal Cave talking about Steven Seagal. And Mojo Priest, which, sounds not great.
Wait a minute. If we're in the Crystal Cave, does that make us Mojo Priests?
Yes. We're the
oh, no.
we're Mojo Priests. And performed on the scores of several films. He's worked with Stevie Wonder, and Tony Rebel, who oh my god, can you hear Luke? Oh man, who performed? Okay, I'm gonna skip the music stuff. Seagal is a known environmentalist, animal rights activist, and supporter of the 14th Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso. I don't know if I don't care if I said that correct or wrong.
I get, like, sure, that might be part of who he is, but what the hell's that really got to do with anything?
I mean, they're just explaining who he is. He's also known for his outspoken political views and support of Vladimir Putin, to whom he once referred to as one of the great living world leaders. He was granted both Russian and Serbian citizenship in 2016. In 2018, he was appointed Russian Special Envoy to the U.S. From 1996 to 2018, multiple women accused Seagal of sexual harassment and or assault.
Just tie that up with a nice bow at the end.
That's all I wanted you to get to. That's what I was saying. Like when you were like, I'm pretty sure he's going to be terrible towards a couple women. I'm like, yeah.
That's. I mean, I'm sure in his movies he's going to be real gross. It's gonna be hard to say.
Yeah, because he is the guy people are making fun of when they're making fun of, like 80s action movies.
Well,
he's the guy.
Yeah.
And all those tropes exist because of him.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it will be awful. I'm sure it will be disgusting.
I also, my expectation is that he karate chops or aikido chops, whatever it is, a lot of people.
A lot.
Like in every movie there will be one, at least one.
My expectations for what the movies are gonna be like is it will start somewhat interesting because otherwise, how would he be famous at all? Who would care?
Yeah.
It will get increasingly like shaky cammy and cut faster and faster as he gets older and fatter.
So you think like the Liam Neeson and Taken,
absolutely,
yes,
the Taken movies where it's like 90 cuts for him to jump over a fence.
Yeah. As he gets older and fatter, it'll cut more and more and more to what are I will generously call body doubles, but are clearly not even close to him. I think the movies are going to get more and more painful to watch as we go on.
Do you think he doesn't do his own stunts?
I think he did once.
Okay.
So, I guess my expectations are up next. Pretty much in line with what Mark said. He's going to start off as this big action star. He's got 3 successful movies under his belt. And then the 4th one is going to be that, it was okay, but it was just another, like the Americana, like, American fight good thing, evil, bad Russian plot, and then as it starts to keep going, he's just going to give up. And it's just going to be like, he's going to show up on set for 2 weeks. Whatever gets filmed is one take, and that's the end of it. And then you're going to see, like... Oh, go ahead.
I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think he's still going to put in as much effort as he did in 1988, but he still thinks it's 1988.
Okay.
I've seen... Okay.
He still thinks that movies are made like they were in 1988.
Let me
I don't
expected
agree
that
with
towards
that at all.
later 90s. Like later 90s.
Yeah.
Later 90s, early 2000s. He's definitely in the I don't give a shit range and like does not care. I'm saying that like he's going to start off, he's going to do his movies, he's going to keep getting those movies going, and again, keep that thing going from the 80s. Like he's got that power. That's what he loves to do. He's going to keep trying to make those movies and perfect that formula, and then it's just going to fall apart, and he's just going to go into whatever junk that's there. And he's going to just become the B-movie schlock thing that we've known him to be forever, where it's just like, shows up on set for 2 minutes, fucking gets his films out, punches them out in one shot, and then everything else that you see of him is going to get that weird thing where they find like a replacement for him, and they just like, you can tell like they shoot him from the back during certain scenes because they had to do retakes.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
It's the Robert Zadar special. Like,
yeah. I don't think he is going to. So here's my prediction on his acting. He's going to start off not like as a good actor, but like doing things interesting. But he's going to put in less effort physically later on because his body is like out of shape. But he will face act much harder the further we go into his career.
Interesting. Okay.
That is my prediction. Because physically moving his body is going to become a task, and he's going to be too fat and lazy to do that.
I predict he never had the face acting ability and will continue to not have face acting ability.
Dude, he's gonna blue steel,
but
the whole time.
He might attempt it.
We gotta figure out why he wasn't invited to the Expendables. Like,
It's probably because he's supposedly just so horrible to be around. I think that's why he dies so fast in Executive Decision, is because like no one wanted to work with him.
Well, not to mention, even at his peak, he was still B tier.
Yeah,
fair.
Even at his absolute best, he was the top of the B tier actors.
What are your
my expectations? I think I kind of already said, I guess, but my expectations are like I want to say that like the Buddhism thing is like at least it exists in some of his movies where he won't kill anyone. Like no one will die outright. You know what I mean?
I think that's from that movie with the Steven Tobolowsky. I think that's the story. Is like they were filming the last scene, and he was like, in this scene, Steven Seagal's character kills my character and doesn't, and he like decides last minute that his character can't kill him. He can't. He's become like he's not okay with killing in his movies now. But I think it was
maybe that's just the story I heard, and I'm attaching that to other stuff. But that's all that I know. Like that's my exposure to Steven Seagal is just like random stories. I've never really cared to watch any of his movies because they don't look very good, and it just seems like they probably suck real bad. But I'm excited to give it a go, and like I said, my expectations are. Well, let's just say they're very low. I don't think that like we're not gonna watch like the first of his movies and be like, oh yeah, this guy was a star. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that period ever existed. I think like.
Well, certainly there must have been something that launched his career, right?
Dude, I was gonna say he made a ton of money. He was
at some point you just get momentum, maybe though. Like, I don't know. He was in a couple movies as a action star, and so people knew he could do it, and then they just kept hiring him to do it, and then eventually they stopped doing that, so he just started making his movies himself.
Dude, I
just looked up his net worth, and it's not as high as I anticipated.
I bet you these movies like killed with like our fucking dad's generation. They watched this and were like, "Yeah, dude, that's what it is. That's just how it is."
And also remember, like, if you guys ever had like cable and watched USA. It was all Steven Seagal and Chuck Norris films. That was like fucking it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't think it necessarily killed with like our dad's generation. I think it killed with teens in the late 80s, early 90s.
Really?
Because all of his films are built around like that 13-year-old boy fantasy of he's an ex-CIA badass and he can't be stopped by anything, and he can fight 40 spies at once and not even break a sweat.
And he can fuck.
Well, that's like the idea they're built around.
I'm sure that there's that brings me back to thinking like, yeah, dude, he's gonna be like Neil Breen. Like, it's gonna be real weird to see him interact with other human beings.
I don't think he's that bad of an actor in these. Like, especially
no, he's not that bad. But I think it's going to be that equally awkward.
We'll see.
I'm excited to find out.
Yeah.
Yes. Can we talk about some of the names of these movies now?
Yeah. Start naming some movies.
All right. So obviously we got like Above the Law and Hard to Kill.
Okay.
But you also got cool names like Marked for Death.
All right. I actually don't think
that's strong.
Okay, I know. I said it like that, but that was. I'm really just going up the list.
No, I like that. I like that. I like marking
Justice. I mean, they're like, man, they perfectly encapsulate exactly what these movies are gonna be, right?
Did you say out of
without watching it?
They say nothing about the film at all.
Without watching it, yeah, but you know that Out for Justice is gonna be.
It could be anything. It could literally be anything.
But I can already, dude. I could tell you probably now what the movie's about.
A local sheriff takes the matter into his own hands.
Yeah. I'm sure his family is like attacked for something, and he goes out for justice.
A man pushed to the line.
No, the thing you're missing is
that
his last name is Justice.
His last,
and so it's a double entendre. So
pushed too far. Now, Frank Justice needs to go out and save his daughter.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a very good movie voice.
Yeah, you did really. That was pretty good. That was really good.
We've got an Under Siege sequel here. The Glimmer Man is a good name for a movie. I have no idea what it's about. But also, I see here he's on an episode of TV's Roseanne in 1996.
No, the Asian Connection is like a very good classic Hollywood name, except for it came out in 2016.
Oh! God damn it.
The Asian? Is it supposed to be like a French Connection?
Probably, yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. Okay, whatever.
At one point it was probably like that, but that script is not going to match any of that. Like, it's just going to be good.
There's a movie here called Clementine.
Okay.
So, all the film names are
and
nonsense.
As generic as the
could be any film. Yeah. Just all it intimates is that this will be an action film.
Question: do you guys think Clementine is where he broke the mold? He didn't make an action movie. It's like
that's going to be his introspective.
Yeah, it's like his
introspective.
Like a young
examination couple, of
a middle-aged couple who loses a child in an accident and have to come to terms with life after.
I was gonna say it's gonna be a middle-aged couple examining if they still want to be together or their marriage falling apart.
Should they stay together for their kids or should they?
Are you saying that? Are you implying that one of those people would be Steven Seagal?
Yeah,
I'm saying maybe.
No, Steven Seagal's the child.
Yeah. I'm saying maybe one of the movies in this list will turn out to be not an action movie, and if by going by the name, the movie called Clementine is an option.
Nah, it's like the name of his gun or something.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be like a shitty western or something. But yeah, I want to see that because every actor goes through that weird thing where they're not in an actual action-y movie. They're trying something out differently, and I'm excited to see Steven Seagal actually try to act.
Found it.
There's a worrying period. There's a worrying period in his career between 2003 and 2014, where all of his credits are things that are referred to only as videos, and not movies or shorts.
He did
that just means it was straight to DVD, right?
And I'm deeply concerned about what that could mean.
He has a movie here called Shadow Man.
All right. So pistol whipped.
My worry is that
Force.
I know that he's been in a few movies that have been that have just been he's a quick cameo or he's in it somewhat a little bit, but the whole movie is not really him focused. I think
before we watch a movie, we'll make sure that it's it's a Steven Seagal movie.
Right.
He's a starring role.
I brought it up because I saw Machete on there, and I know for sure he's not a main.
I think he's the villain. I think he's the villain,
right?
Yeah, but he's in it for 15 minutes.
I mean, yeah, okay, but I see here he's in the Onion movie, and his character's name is Cock Puncher, which leads me to assume that it is a movie based on the fake news Onion.
Yeah,
it is.
Okay, that sounds horrible.
But it does demonstrate that he's like bizarrely self-aware a little bit, at least.
Yeah.
All these titles tell me money. is that he's in a lot of generic ass action films.
Mercenary for Justice doesn't. You're saying Mercenary for Justice is a generic ass?
Yes,
Mercenary for Justice.
Yeah, that's like they could have. That's an ad lib, dude. They just reached into a bag and pulled out 3 pieces of paper, and it said Mercenary for
China Salesman
Justice.
Isn't gonna be the movie of the century?
No.
Kill Switch?
No, come on.
Against the Dark?
Come on.
Driven to Kill?
Dude, come on.
Gut shot straight. Alright, okay.
Born to Raise Hell.
In Driven to Kill, he plays a character that is referred to only as Russian.
I think that's
I was
spelled
gonna
wrong, too.
Also, the names... What, DJ?
I think Russian's spelled wrong, too. It's Ruslin.
His name in all these movies is like the most generic. It's just like Paul, John, Jack, John, Jack,
Cody.
Jake.
There's one.
He's just a nondescript white guy.
Yeah, it's just the same Jack. It's
I
Jack in like all these movies. Dude,
Professor Robert Burns. Okay.
What movie is that?
Out for a
Dr.
Kill.
Wesley McLaren.
Out for a Kill.
This is... Oh my god.
All right. Yeah.
It should be interesting.
These are... Man.
I'm excited. I'm excited to watch one of these movies.
So what did we decide? Are we watching them together or separate?
I think I'm more interested in together.
Yeah.
I think that would be more fun and cohesive because we're not really like reviewing them.
No, God no.
I mean, no. Like, what could we possibly add to a review of the movie Above the Law from 1988?
Yeah, we're not doing like a hard review.
No, no. No, it's mostly an excuse to make fun of Steven Seagal, who I think sucks really bad, while also doing something fun like this, and I've never seen his movies, so it's kind of unfair for me to be like, man, his shit sucks, when I haven't seen it suck, but I still know it sucks.
This is just a hate project.
So,
in that case, out of spite.
In that case, do we want to do like a record our thoughts while it's happening, watch along thing?
Yeah, as I say, is it like a commentary?
Or are we doing like we'll all watch it and then we, panel after it?
I think that's probably the best case.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best case too. The commentary thing is like a pain in the ass because then
you gotta
you have to sync the audio and
with the correct version.
Right, everybody has to be on the same.
And also, that's a long time.
Well, you can't. That is the case if you're concerned about it being dead nuts synced with the movie. But like, I don't know what anybody would be that concerned about it.
Yeah, I think we'll get best results if we do the panel after.
90% of it's just going to be us going, "Fuck, who's that guy? I know that guy."
Yeah. Seeing some of these movies that I looked at. They got casts, man.
Yeah.
His earlier stuff, they got casts.
Got some people you might care about.
I was very surprised. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying not to do too much into it before.
Sure. Yeah, we don't want to poison the well by knowing too much before we watch any of the movies. Yeah, I'm here for whatever. Either sounds good to me. I'm okay with the panel idea. That sounds fun. I am also okay with recording when we watch, just in case there's anything worth keeping from the watch.
Yeah, that's not
time period.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that.
All right. Well, I think that's all I got here for us. In the Crystal Cave.
What's your 6th sign out? What's your classic podcast sign out?
Dude, I don't know. What should it be?
We gotta have a closing. How do you close it? What are you gonna say at the end of your podcast?
I think I did. We're gonna, leave the Crystal Cave, man.
And then what do you say? What do you say after that? Come on, man. You can't. You're leaving
come
it
on.
hanging.
You gotta keep it on.
I don't know. What should it be? Hold on. You're putting me on the spot to like. No, what should it be? I'm going to put you on the spot. This is also your podcast.
First off, it's
you
your
are
podcast.
No. You are a seagull. You are a seagull now.
We should end it.
Been in the crystal cave. You can't.
He's a voodoo priest.
Mojo priest.
Mojo priest.
As a mojo priest, I will end on the words of a great man. And hold on. I think the more diversity that one has in life, the happier he can be, as long he is able to do whatever he chooses to do at that given time well. From Steven Seagal. Blessed be unto you.
Has anyone ever wanted to look more do-like?
Yes.
No, that's I read that fucking 100% correct.
Did you skip a line or
no?
Seems like you had a stroke while you were reading.
A little bit. I found Steven Seagal quotes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to keep in your back pocket right there.
Close every episode with a Steven Seagal quote.
Yes.
Yeah, let's see if we can find enough of them.
Oh, there's plenty, dude. There is plenty.
Okay, cool. All right, well, I guess that's the end. The Mojo Priests signing off in the Crystal Cave.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.